Welcome to today's market update. I'm Maya Keynes, joined once again by financial expert Eli Sterling. Eli, we're diving into quite the mix of developments today, from major banking transformations to tech earnings and, of course, the ever-volatile crypto landscape. Where should we begin?
Thanks, Maya. Let's start with what's shaping up to be one of the biggest narratives, the Federal Reserve's shifting stance. Recent FOMC minutes suggest many policymakers don't think it's appropriate to cut rates in December. Yet, markets are still pricing in a 30% chance of a cut, showing how sentiment can override fundamentals.
Right, and that ties into the broader market mood, especially after Nvidia's blowout report. The stock surged 5% post-market, hitting $186 and beating revenue numbers. CEO Jensen Huang even mentioned strong demand for Blackwell GPUs, with cloud sector orders fully booked. What does this mean for the AI-driven rally?
Absolutely, Maya. Nvidia remains at the heart of the CapEx bubble, with expectations of continued growth through 2026. But while the headlines are bullish, let's not ignore the technicals. Let's take a look at Nvidia's 4-hour chart using the Smart Trend strategy.
So what are we seeing on the chart, Eli? Can you walk us through the indicators and what they're telling us right now?
Sure thing. The Smart Trend indicator shows a sequence of lower highs and lower lows, indicating a short-term downtrend. We've got a recent swing low around $181.30. This is key support. If it breaks, we could see further downside. Meanwhile, volume spikes confirm selling pressure. So, despite the positive news, caution is warranted for short-term traders.
Let's pivot to crypto now. Bitcoin's been under pressure, and our technical reports show a strong bearish trend across multiple timeframes. What's driving this, and where might Bitcoin find support?
Great question. On the daily buy-hold-sell strategy, we're seeing consistent bearish signals. Both short and long-term SMMA lines are declining, with a widening gap between them. That tells us selling pressure is increasing. Also, the relative strength index is hovering in oversold territory, suggesting potential for a bounce, but not necessarily a full reversal yet.
And looking at the Fibonacci retracement levels, it seems like Bitcoin is testing its origin level, near 86,116. Is that a make-or-break point?
Exactly. That 0.0% Fibonacci level at $86,116 is acting as critical support. A break below it would invalidate the retracement setup and hint at deeper declines. Until then, we're watching for a possible consolidation or minor rebound within this zone.
Let's shift gears to another major altcoin, Ethereum. Our technical analysis for Ethereum Tether on the daily time frame paints a mixed picture. The relative strength index is in oversold territory, but moving average convergence divergence and on-balance volume are signaling continued weakness. What's your read here?
The relative strength index bump from 29.16 to 29.74 does suggest some momentum loss on the downside. But the moving average convergence divergence remains deeply negative, and the on-balance volume is trending lower too. This combo indicates distribution is ongoing. We're likely in a consolidation phase before any significant move.
Turning to broader developments, Standard Chartered is doubling down on cross-border fintech and wealth management. Their CFO emphasized blockchain's transparency and efficiency. Do you think this reflects a wider institutional embrace of digital assets?
Definitely. They're seeing over $10 billion in net inflows quarterly, and stablecoins are processing $20 billion daily. Still less than 1% of global payments, but growing fast. Banks like SC are positioning themselves as bridges between legacy finance and crypto rails. It's a quiet revolution happening behind the scenes.
Finally, what should investors be watching tomorrow? Any key levels or catalysts to keep an eye on?
Keep an eye on whether Bitcoin holds above $86,000 and how Ethereum behaves around $2,800. Also, watch for any updates on Fed messaging ahead of Friday's PCE data. It'll heavily influence rate cut expectations. And of course, any fresh developments from Nvidia or semiconductor peers will ripple across markets.
Thanks, Eli. Another packed session with plenty to monitor. That's all for today's market wrap. Stay tuned for our evening markets preview. I'm Maya Keynes. Until next time.